Hey guys, hope everyone's doing okay. Welcome to this week's Random Ramble. This week I want to talk to you about what to do when things go wrong, when you have a bit of a slip up. First thing I want to say is that it is inevitable, okay? At some point between you starting your weight loss journey and you reaching that end goal, something is going to go wrong. You are going to have some time off. That could literally just be one day where you just go over your calories, you lose track of everything. It could end up being a whole weekend where social events cause you to do lots of drinking or lots of eating. Or it could even be a whole week for various reasons. You stop training, you stop tracking your calories completely, you overeat, you have lots of food that you wouldn't normally have. It doesn't matter what type of slip up it is, you are going to have a slip up at some point. And it's really important that you accept that that is going to happen. Now, when that does happen, what is very likely to occur is that your weight is going to go up as a result of it. Now, most of us have probably had this scenario before where we've been good all week and then Saturday and Sunday things go wrong. Okay, it could be that we drink lots of alcohol, could be just that we eat more food than we normally would. And what we find is when we weigh in on Monday, our weight has shot up. Now, a lot of people assume that this means they've gained fat weight. Okay, that's not necessarily the case. What's more likely to have happened is that your body is just holding on to a lot of excess water, particularly if things like alcohol or high carb foods have been involved. Our weight is not always an exact indicator of what is going on. And what you tend to find is after something like that, when you've had lots of alcohol, you will definitely hold on to water. If you've had lots of extra carbs, your muscles will store some of those extra carbs as extra energy. So your scale weight will go up. It's important that you accept that that is a reality, because when you don't accept this, it becomes such a big shock that what tends to happen is we react by almost having a bit of a meltdown. And one of two things usually happens. Number one is we try and go too extreme to almost undo the damage. So we work out extra hard. We try and do more workouts than we normally would. And we go extra crazy with our calorie restrictions. We go way lower than we'd normally go, and we go really overly restrictive with particular ingredients. Neither of these things are a good idea because they're not sustainable. Remember, we're trying to create a long-term lifestyle here. We're not just trying to find quick fixes. And both of those things are just knee-jerk reactions to a quick fix. They're us trying to come up with a quick solution to undo the damage we've done, which we don't want to do. The other reaction that a lot of people have when they see that weight go up as a result of a slip up is that they give up completely. They think, oh, I've ruined everything. All that hard work has been undone. So what's the point in starting again? I'm just going to give it all up now. And they end up having months off before they suddenly realize that they really haven't done all that hard work, and then try and start again with a new plan. You don't need to do that either. A failure is going to happen. It doesn't mean that you've completely ruined everything. It just means you've had a bit of a slip up. You're a human being. It's going to happen. The correct way to react to this is actually just carry on as you were, as if it hadn't happened. Whatever you were doing before that slip up, just go back to doing that, okay? So just go back to tracking your calories, just go back to eating the types of meals you were eating, go back to your workout routine. Whatever has been working for you in the weeks up to that slip up, just go back to that. You don't need to try and undo the damage that you've done. You just need to get back on track, because that's going to serve you better in the long term than trying to have some kind of extreme reaction. Another great thing that you can do is when this does happen, take a bit of time to try and ask yourself why it happened in the first place. Okay, did you suddenly find you were extremely hungry, so you ate loads and loads of food as an actual reaction to hunger? Were you just craving something? Did you have an extreme sweet craving, so you had loads of chocolate and sweets? Maybe it was a social thing that's caused it. Maybe it's just that you really can't resist the urge to go to the pub at the weekend and drink loads of alcoholic drinks with your mates. Or maybe it was actually a reaction to stress or to boredom or something like that. If you can take the time to understand why you slipped up in the first place, then you're going to be able to start to put precautions in place to prevent it from happening in the future. Those precautions could be, say you did it because you were hungry. Say you really had this massive hit of hunger, so you just had to eat loads of food. Okay, maybe your calorie restriction is too low. and you need to increase it slightly, or maybe you need to add more protein and fiber into your diet so that you control your appetite better. If it was a sweet craving thing, then maybe you've been too restrictive with actual individual products. If you were desperately craving chocolate, then maybe you should just be having a little bit of chocolate in your diet each week to reduce that craving. If it was a reaction to stress, then think of a different way to react to that stress. Try and put new stress management things in place. That could be something like meditation, or trying something like yoga. It could be doing something like just going out for a walk or doing exercise to help manage stress, or just trying to find ways of actually reducing the stress levels in your life if that's possible. If it's a boredom thing, find new hobbies that replace your eating as a reaction to that boredom. So instead of sitting there bored in front of the TV and just snacking, maybe do something that requires a bit more brain power, something like doing a puzzle or getting into playing music, learning an instrument, something like that. And if it's a social thing, then preempt that. If you know you're going to be going to the pub at the weekend with your mates, then hold back some calories, or actually think about what you're going to drink over the weekend. Put it into MyFitnessPal before you even get to the pub, so it's there. You've got more chance of actually sticking to it if it's there in front of you. So if you get a chance, think about why you slipped up and try and come up with a solution to stop it from happening in the first place. So quick summary, guys, because I've covered a lot in this one. So it's inevitable. You are going to slip up at some point. It's important that you accept that that is going to happen. And as a result of that, you're probably going to find that your scale weight is higher. Don't react to that by having a breakdown and trying to go really extreme with your calorie restriction, your ingredient restriction, and your exercise levels, because that's not sustainable. And don't react to it by just throwing in the towel completely, okay? Just because you've had a slip up, it doesn't mean you've failed. It doesn't mean you have to give up. Make sure that you're just carrying on where you were, okay? Just carry on as if nothing had happened. And then when you get a chance, try and understand why it happened in the first place. Try and understand what it was that caused you to slip up, and then put some precautions in place. Start creating new habits to stop it happening again in the future. I hope that helps, guys. This is something that I see happen a lot. So if you need to, watch this video a few times until it really sinks in. As always, if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.